Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have high episodes here at the Siege Captain, and we have low episodes. And I'm going to tell you right now, this episode is a little bit of a low for the Siege Captain.
My garage is too short.
Now, don't let this ruin my Siege credibility, but all the decisions made in this episode make me feel stupid. You know when you do something and then you see the outcome, you look back at it and you're like, how could I be so dumb? Yeah, that's this episode. But it's kind of funny to watch, so come along and see what the Siege Captain has cooking today. So while building this arm, I realized that the U-bolts that I was going to put on it were too narrow, even though they were the widest ones at Menards. So the first thing is I had to shrink this 2x4 a little bit, make it a little less wide. Now, of course, I'm using a standard 2x4 from Menards because it's cheap and effective, and it'll get the job done. I'm sure it won't break when we actually try to fire this thing. So now that it's narrowed down, the U-bolts can fit on it. So I was going to use 2 U-bolts with a little eye bolt going through it and attach a rope to the eye hook in order to pull it out. So you can see I'm cutting a little groove where the rope was going to sit. This was well before I realized the problems with the trigger. We'll get into the problems with it probably next episode, but anyone with any building expertise or any brains at all will be able to see the problems with the trigger before we even do. So here I'm cutting some extra metal brackets because the ones that came with the U-bolts were flimsy, and I just wanted to add a little reinforcement for it with how much force we're going to be putting on the rope. Yes, that is my glass of wine that I keep almost spilling. That's the eye bolt that's going to go between them. Just like that. You can see that was my idea for the trigger system.
This is like ever so slightly. Oh, you can just bend them in a little.
Sometimes you just need a little bit more hole. It wouldn't fit.
Oh,
Those are the extra brackets we're adding onto it just for some more support when it's on the arm. So yeah, my idea was to use one screw to hold these things on. Just one screw right in the center. Can't imagine what the problem would be.
yeah, so I put the rope in. Put that on. Ugh, lock it up quick.
Here we get to see the ratcheting system being tested for the first time. So I do have some successes at least. And now for a message from past Sean.
So,
some concerns. We're getting to the point where we can assemble the catapult and try a test fire. All we really need to do is put like a little basket to fling something on here, right? And then do the rope tensioning thingy and hope that the draw system scared me. Hope that the draw system actually works. That's surprisingly loud when your ears turn that way. One of my biggest concerns is this is only held in by one screw. And I don't like, there's gonna be a lot of force held on these things. They kind of spin. So I'm gonna wanna add more screws like here. I wanna add more like screws on either side so that it can't spin, but I don't wanna keep driving screws into the wood. So I'm probably just gonna put a nail up top to try to hold these in place more. I'm gonna need to think of some kind of better trigger system. I mean, I have lots of ideas for better trigger systems, but I don't have a welder, nor do I want to weld, because I'm trying to keep this catapult as basic as it can be for the most part, I guess. And yeah, so this trigger system's got me a little sketched out. When we were testing the draw system, it actually felt robust enough. So a lot of concerns have gone away from that. The only biggest thing I have is this ripping forward, but this board seems on there pretty well, and that's a lot of wood to rip through. Also, since the catapult got knocked out of square a lot by moving, like you can see, I just hope it doesn't twist in on itself when the torsion gets put on it. So my one idea is we're gonna get the arm in there, torsion it up, get the swing of the arm, and see where we can add more cross supports going across the catapult, put some more triangles and X's in there for strength. But for now, I'm going to add 2 pieces of 2x4 on either side where the ropes are gonna be going over it so that this has less tendency to twist when in the ropes. So this is gonna be at full draw, it'll be roughly about here. Maybe a little bit forward. Yeah, that'll line up there. The rope will be right in there with the pin in it. Kind of like that. And then they'll just pull the. Or she blows. There goes flukes. Do about 8 inches of board on the bottom to stop it from twisting. Hey, look at that. You know you shop at Menards when the lumber comes pre-cracked. But she is pretty straight. They're way off. The same screw that defeated Napoleon at the Battle of Waterloo. Ugh. It's split, but it's there. This is gonna be here. The ropes are gonna pass on either side of it, and then when you twist the ropes, the board, like if you have just the 2x4, the 2x4 will want to like twist with the ropes, whichever direction it's leaning at all. This will give it a lot more surface area to grab onto without twisting. Oh no. What a horrible idea that was. Okay. I am not satisfied with this trigger system. Just want to say now. I'm not going to rebuild it right now. I'm definitely going to rebuild it at some point. I have a feeling it'll work. It just might break at some point. But I'm going to try. We're going to try it. So, yeah.
This one's to ratcheting rope systems.